Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm currently at work. This is the Saturday that we're playing Cambridge away. I'm currently at work because I'm awesome. I've done all my work. I've got to stay here till 11 anyway. So I thought, what am I going to do to kill a bit of time? And I thought I'd bore you all more with some more blogs. Well, one more blog. I haven't actually done one on the current state of the team, and where I usually talk about what's going on with the club and stuff like that. A lot of my blogs have been dominated mainly with what's been going on with Rodney Parade. So just thought I'd talk to you about my take on how things are going. For those of you who watch these regularly, you know that I've had a bit of a problem with my ears at the moment, and I've missed a few games so far this year. Obviously, it's not like me to miss games, but what can you do? Well, I'm back working now. I'm back going to the county, but I'm not able to make it to Cambridge because I'm working till 11. It's going to be near impossible for me to get to Cambridge in time for the games. So, with my year still bad, I thought, no, it's not the end of the world if I give this one a miss. But obviously, my first game back was Cheltenham. My last game before that was Exeter at home, and I just wanted to touch on the difference in the team at the moment. I mean, good God, they're so much better. Not so much in terms of ability, because there was no doubt we have players there that can play football. Like your Ben Tozers, your Mark Randalls, and people like that. I mean, Jenison Myrie Williams. I mean, he didn't do an awful lot good, but you could see there was something in him that if he was playing in better conditions, maybe he may have done something else. But he's a bit of a letdown, as I've been, like Jack Compton, another letdown, unfortunately. I had high hopes for him at the beginning of the season, and my tip for our danger man was actually Jenison Myrie Williams. So, seeing us play against Cheltenham, you just see the work rate, the effort, and the desire, everything. The defence looks solid. There's no leaks. The midfield look like they're working. The strikers look like they're trying to get into positions. I mean, when we're playing on a pitch like ours, it's always going to be difficult for us to to create good play, and create good chances. But when we're on a better pitch, maybe it might be different. Cheltenham wasn't a better pitch at all. But, we'll play against Cambridge today on a better pitch. Maybe we can play a bit of football. Just Sheehan, I think that's one of the most important things for us, was keeping him. Because we all know that he's capable of making something special happen on any day. If he has a good day, we'll have a good day. And we've got a very good chance of winning. So when it comes to the better pitches, obviously he's got to start that game. So I hope he starts today. I've been impressed with Reid and his fitness. Apparently his fitness has been the main issue that's been holding him back of the last few seasons. So apparently he lost 1.5 stone in a couple of weeks. So he was a little bit lighter, obviously a lot fitter. So you can see from his work rate that he's willing to put a shift in for us. Pipey. A lot of people criticised Pipey. First of all, I'm going to clear one thing up. People saying we're preparing for life in the conference by signing Pipey. We got him on loan till the end of the season, so whether we stay up or down, he goes back to Eastleigh at the end of the season. So that's not preparing for life in the conference. That's a loan player to hopefully instill a bit of aggression and desire into the rest of the team. And he is an infectious person. You can see the whole team lift when he gets stuck in. So his mere presence for me is making a difference in the work rate and desire of the team. I think Mitch Rose is a good signing. I think on a better surface he'll be capable of better football, but he's willing to get dug in and dirty. Sid Nelson, what a fantastic loan signing that is. He is top notch. He is a really, really good defender, and for his age, he looks like he's been playing for a lot longer. Joe Day looks a better keeper now. He's got a better defence in front of him. I think he's very much a confidence player, Joe Day, and as long as the defence is doing their job, then he feels confident in doing his own. If he feels exposed, maybe he lacks his confidence. Confidence is very much a big thing when you're commanding your area, having the confidence to come out. Now, sometimes he'll do it when he shouldn't. Sometimes he'll stay back when he should come out. But I think he's getting it more right than he have done before. Obviously, all the new signings came in towards the end of the year 2016. His confidence was wavering because at the beginning of the season he did look a completely different keeper. But it's come back, in my opinion. So, going on to whether we're going to stay up or not. Personally, I'm not getting my hopes up too high because teams around us are winning games not every game, obviously, because they wouldn't be down if they're winning every game. But there always seems to be a different one that does well whenever we don't win. So you've got teams above who are slowly moving away. Only slowly, but they are moving away. And we, at the moment, draws are just not good enough. Picking up the odd point keeps us in contention of getting out of there. But unless we start winning some games, and today, Cambridge, we have to get the win today. We have to. For me, this is a must-win game. If we draw another game, all it takes is one or two of the teams above us to win again, and it puts us even further behind. Because there are a lot of teams who we could catch up if we start pinning some points on that board. There are a lot of teams who are going to falter. I think Hartlepool are one, and Accrington. Personally, I think them two. It's going to be them two who are going to drop, in my opinion, if we stay up. Hartlepool, Accrington or Cheltenham. Any one of them three, actually. I don't think Notts County are going to go down. I don't think Leyton Orient are going to go down. And I don't think Crewe are going to go down. But I think Hartlepool, Accrington or Cheltenham will drop. And obviously we're well in that mix as well. A lot of people who will be having this same sort of discussion as what I'm having with you now are going to say that we are very much in that mix. And we are the favourites out of all of them to go down. I mean, we are bottom of the league and we are a few points away. That's why 3 points a day is vital. Cambridge are on a downer. They've had an up and down season. Their big up came when they beat us at Rodney Parade, and then they went on a winning run, went up towards the playoffs, and then they've dropped off back down into mid-table, into very much we don't need to play it for anything now. We're not going down, we're not going up, we're staying in League 2. Let's look towards next season. Obviously it's a bit early to look to next season, but you know what I mean. They're in that mid-table position where they're safe, but there's nothing really to achieve for them. So hopefully they'll just come into the game not needing the points as much as us, and that new work rate and desire wins through. I mean, if you're a betting person, I know you wouldn't want to put your money on County, but people who like to have a good gamble, I mean, I'd imagine we'd be a decent price. I think it could be worth a punt on us today. I'm actually considering it myself, to be honest, but I never do. I never back us. Whenever I back us, we always lose or draw, so I'm not doing it. So that's it. But what can I say? I mean, are we going to stay up? If I had to say now, are we going to stay up? Personally, I don't think so. Only because we need to start winning games, and we're not at the moment. If things will change, if we win a couple of games, we win a couple more games, stay unbeaten for a little longer, push us even further up in that mentality. Where we haven't lost for a while, we don't feel like a losing team, so that tends to show itself on the pitch. So if we can keep unbeaten and win a few, obviously I'm not saying a draw is a bad result every week, but at the end of the day we need points, and there's not enough games left if we draw every game for the rest of the season now that we can escape. We need to win some games. I'd say we need a minimum of 6 wins, and and obviously top that up with draws maybe. An absolute minimum of 6 wins, I think, and I think we have a chance. Well, I think there's 6 wins in it for us at the end of the season, at the end of the day. But by the end of the season, all we can go on is a game-to-game basis, and we see where we are come the end. I think Notts County at home is going to be a real squeaky bum type game. I think we're going to be. I think our destiny could be on the hands of that game, and I just hope that we do it. But personally, mentally, I'm preparing for life in the conference, not because I think that that's where we should be, that's where we belong, or anything like that. It's because I'm being realistic and thinking, right, okay, the odds are against us to stay up. But I'm not saying that we're not going to do it. I'm saying that we got a very good chance. Much like the board would have to produce two different budgets for next season, one for Football League, one for conference. I'm sort of giving myself a mentality for staying in and a mentality for going down. Like I'm saying, I think I've mentioned it on one of my blogs before, it's not the end of the world if we do go down, It's not the absolute end of the world. I mean, it's sad. We don't want it to happen. It's not ideal. We're going to lose a lot of money. It's just no good. We cannot go down. But if we do, like I said, the conference isn't as competitive as it was the season we went up. If you can imagine, we had a Hereford team that had just come down from the Football League. We had Forest Green when they just started getting their money. We had Cambridge, we had Grimsby, we had Lincoln, we had Stockport. We had a good Kidderminster team, a good Wrexham team, Mansfield. We had so many ex-Football League clubs around us, and we had to compete with all of them. Luton as well was in there that season as well. So it was such a competitive league. I mean, now you look at the Football League clubs, and we're talking York and Dagenham. I mean, the only real big Football League club down there at the moment is Tranmere. I mean, Lincoln are doing well, I know, and Forest Green have got money, and Eastleigh have got money. But other than that, what kind of competition is there in that division in comparison to the season we went up? So we're going to come down with Football League experience. We got some good youngsters who I'd imagine, I'm talking if now, if we go down, we got some good youngsters who I think will flourish in the conference. Like Tom Owen Evans would possibly do the same type of thing as Lee Evans. Lee Evans flourished in the conference and is now playing championship football for Wolves and just signed a new deal and everything. So, yeah, I'm saying there's hope if we go down. A lot of people saying, if we go down, we'll never come back up. No. Cheltenham did it. I know Bristol Rovers are a big club, so they were expected to do it, but Cheltenham done it, and pretty much all of those Football League clubs that I've mentioned found their way back in there. Like Mansfield, like Luton, like Cambridge, a lot of Football League, Grimsby as well. You know, a lot of these ex-Football League clubs have gone down and eventually got themselves back up. Not many of them have stayed down. Lincoln are probably going to go up, so the only one really left behind is Wrexham. Because if you think about it, all the other ones, Stockport went on a big downer and in Conference North at the moment. And obviously Hereford had to reform and start from the bottom again. I'm sure they'll be back soon enough. The only other team I haven't mentioned is Chester, but then they're not the force they were beforehand. Whether they'll get that back remains to be seen. But I think if we stay up, I think we're in a position where we need to build and we need to get the pitch sorted out. But that's another discussion for another day. All I'm saying is if we go down, it's not the end of the world if you look at the teams that are in that division at the moment. I mean, you got teams like Dover and Barrow who are breaking into the playoffs now, you know. It just goes to show. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that one then, guys. I mean, I've rabbled on about this for nearly 12 and a half minutes. So for those who are going to Cambridge, have a safe trip, bring those points back and have a good day. And for those of you like myself stuck at home, have a good one in your chariots or in your pubs or whatever. But anyway, I'm nearly time to go home there anyway. So cheers, guys, and come on, County.